Well, today is Saturday, the 23rd of March. I purchased this vehicle from Evans Halshaw on Thursday, the 21st of March, and this is the first time I'm having a chance to detail the car. Part of the deal was that the car would be coated and treated in what's known as Guardex. Show you the label. Unfortunately, when I visited to pick up the vehicle, it had not been prepped, and in fact they had actually set it further back into the show area. The aim today is to physically detail it and see whether or not we can get it to some semblance of normality. There's one or two defects on the car, namely an area where there's a bit of rust, obviously a stone chip that wasn't prepared. You can see the car feels very rough, not been smoothed off or clay barred at all. We have some slight dings on the boot, and as we can see here, some quite nasty scratches, probably from a power jet. We then look at the flanks of the car, and you can see there are some scuffs. That's the rear near side. Line of dints and dents on the front, which is only to be expected a car of this age. And then we have another parking scuff just there. So, first thing I'm going to do is clean the wheels so I can get the car properly cleaned. Right, we've now got to stage one. I've given the wheels a proper clean. I'm about to do some shampooing with the wheels, as you can see. Right, the wheels have now had their first clean. I'm just letting that settle in. It's a pre-wash. First thing I'm noticing is that one of the selling points of Guardex is how it makes the water bead. I've got to say, there's not a lot of beading going on, which leads me to suspect that this has not had any Guardex put onto the bodywork. As you can see down the side here, there's fine mist overspray from the wheels, and on the bonnet a great deal of detail. So I'm going to carry on, and when I get to the bodywork I'll do another. I've done the wheels. I can now start on the main bodywork, and I think you can see that there is no beading whatsoever on this car. I think Evans Halshaw need to be talked to find out why, if their product is supposed to provide a good beaded surface, is it not beading? My conclusion is that it wasn't actually applied to the exterior of the vehicle, in which case I should be looking for either a credit or for the vehicle to be done. Anyway, time to carry on. I'm now going to pre-soak the car and then hopefully start the first wash down. There's some beading, but nothing more than I'd expect from this type of paint. The roof has absolutely no beading whatsoever. Moving down to the boot, there is some, but again I'd expect better than that. And the sides, well, it's just overspray, there's no beading whatsoever. So in my view, this has not had any coating put onto it. I'm now going to give it a pre-soak and see whether or not I can get this car looking something. Now I might put a pre-soak wash, which is a pH balanced shampoo, over the car. And we'll leave this on now for around about 5 minutes. Swill it off, and then we'll move on to the next step, which is a snow foam, which is one of the highest qualities you can buy. I can see some beading now, but the reality is, in the areas which are heavily open to the atmosphere, the rain, absolutely nothing. It's worthwhile pointing out as well that since we bought the car, we haven't actually had any rain, so it couldn't have been washed off. And now what we've done, we've got snow foam all over the car. Going to leave this on now for 5, maybe 10 minutes. This should loosen any road grime. The principle then is that I'll wash it off, and we'll get on to the real stage, which is a contact clean, and hopefully we can see what we've got to play with before we clay bar it, swill it off again, and then we can think about wax. Right, the car has had its wash down. To recap, first stage, general swill off. Second stage, pre-wash soak. Third stage, wash off. Fourth stage, snow foam. Fifth stage, wash off. Sixth stage, contact clean. Seventh stage, wash off. We're now going to have a go at doing a clay bar before we wash it off, and then generally dry it off. Found a little bit of a glitch, don't know whether we can see this on there, but we'll see what we can do with it. Well, the car has now been clay barred. I put some anti-ferrous oxide onto the wheels. You just about see some of it turning purple, which is a good sign. It means there's not much in the way of contamination on there. And very shortly going to wash it all off. See, very little purple. And once we've done that, there we go. There's some purple. So that one did catch some quite badly by the looks of it. But that will get all the iron oxide off the wheel, and I can now start on the final processes of applying some wax. Right, we've now got to the pre-wax stage. It's been thoroughly prepped. It's as clean as I can get it in the situation. It's now time to put on a good quality wax. And I think in this instance I'm going to use Ultimate Shine rather than the resin, because I think the resin is better as a touch-up wax. You can see some of the defects in it now far clearly. As you can now see, I've applied the polish. I've just started taking the polish off the roof because the sun has started to come out, and the last thing we want is polishing the roof when there's sun out. I'll give a good idea of how much work this is. Again, another 2 hours worth of work. So I'll show you what it's like before I put the sealer on, which is a standard sealer. Right, car has now had one coat of Auto Glim Ultimate polish, which has been a nightmare. Clearly the car hadn't been polished in a little while, so the polish got soaked in very quickly, which meant it was even more difficult to get off than normal. I'm now going to seal this shine, and next time I'll be using additional resin polish, which should make it look sparkling. Well, this is the final coat. This is the shine sealant. It needs to be on now for another 30-40 minutes. As you can see, it dries pretty quickly. What I'm going to do now is, while that's drying off, I am going to clean the inside of the car, since I only did the seats last night. It's looking okay. It's not brilliant, but then again, it's not a young car. So I'm going to try my best to bring it back up to some kind of standard. Interestingly enough, the engine bay does seem to take an awfully long time to dry. We have the car. It's now been polished, sealed, and generally ready for me to just do the final detailing, which should take all the wax marks off the black trim and just gives it that last bit of sparkle. But she's looking better than she did. And finally, one completed vehicle. Lots of little road scars. Generally speaking, looks fine. Would like it to be a little bit better in the bodywork department, but well and truly done now. The finished article. I want to use that.